I have a lot of people ask me about how I create my economics videos. The short answer is with a lot of time and patience. No individual step is particularly challenging, but taken as a whole, the process can seem overwhelming. So here's my plan to make it a little easier for you. First, this video will walk you through the basic steps of any digital storytelling process. Then I'll have a second video that shows the specific process that I follow when creating my own economics videos. There are lots of tools out there that can be used for digital storytelling, but I co-facilitate a series of Technology Tuesdays workshops where the underlying philosophy is to always go with tools that are simple to use, free if possible, minimal cost if necessary. I personally have paid a bit more for a software license or a subscription for a web-based tool, but only if I've tried it first and know that I'll be using the tool extensively. No matter what tool you decide to use, the basic steps to creating a digital story are the same. Step 1. Write a script. Technically, I suppose that the very first step is to come up with an idea, but I'm assuming that if you're interested in telling a digital story, you already have a concept in mind. It's always a good idea to write a script because it helps you organize your thoughts. Even when I'm ad-libbing rather than reading a complete script, I like to have an outline of the concepts and talking points to be covered in the video. Keep in mind when writing your script that the ideal length for a video is 3 to 5 minutes, so plan accordingly. You don't want to overwhelm your audience with information. Step 2. Storyboarding your script. What exactly is a storyboard and why should you bother? I like the description from the Berkeley Advanced Media Institute, which says, a storyboard is a sketch of how to organize a story and a list of its contents. A storyboard helps you define the parameters of a story within available resources and time, organize and focus a story, figure out what medium to use for each part of the story. For myself, the storyboarding part of the process is critical because that is where I work out the initial concept of the types of visuals that I'll need to create in order to effectively convey my story. I write out the script again, but this time I add quick ideas for images to tell the story. As you'll see in step 3, these images could be drawings, photos, screenshots, video clips, charts, etc. I find that the storyboarding stage of the digital storytelling process often allows me to refine and polish my script before I do the actual recording of the narration. Step 3. Collect multimedia. Hopefully, storyboarding your script allowed you to decide what kind of media, both visual and audio, that you want to use. Will you use photos, clip art, drawings? Will you have narration, or music, or both? Think about your visuals. Most of the images that I use are my own artwork. After storyboarding, I create all of the drawings. Because the images are my own original work, I don't need to worry about violating copyright. You could do the same with photographs by taking all of your own pictures. What if you don't have the resources to create your own visuals? How else can you avoid copyright violation issues? You'll notice in some of my videos you see photos as well as drawings. To avoid copyright issues, I either use my own photos or I make sure that the images are Creative Commons licensed. I try to find images that are licensed as attribution only. That way I can edit the images and integrate them into the video without violating a license that stipulates that no changes can be made. I always give attribution for any images used at the end of each video. A third approach you can take is to adopt a tool that includes a built-in media library that you can use. For example, sites like Video, VideoScribe, and Movely have libraries of graphics at your disposal. These typically come at a cost. For example, with VideoScribe, there's a subscription fee, and you can purchase additional graphics above and beyond the basics. With Movely, you can choose between a free or paid account, and some of the basic graphics are available for free, but like VideoScribe, you can purchase additional graphics. What about audio? Again, you always want to be sure not to violate copyright, and the easiest way to avoid problems is to use your own voice. For my videos, I read my script that I have written specifically for each video. If you prefer to not have a voiceover on your project, you may want to have music of some kind. Again, the safest route is to use a tool that includes an audio library such as Animoto, LiveScribe, Movely, or many others. Otherwise, be sure to research open, that is royalty-free, copyright-free music sites to find appropriate audio. There is one other strategy that you can employ where either visuals or audio are concerned if you really want to use a piece of media that's copyright protected. Contact the artist and ask permission. I heard an obscure little music piece about the economy on NPR one morning, and believe it or not, I was able to contact the artist and he sent me the sheet music with his permission to use the song. Step 4. Create. Generally speaking, the create part of the process is where you bring in all of your media, order and reorder the images, and sync the visuals with your audio. Determining the specific tool to accomplish this will take some thought about your own technology comfort level and your preferences for finding media versus creating your own. In this chart, you can see just a few examples of tools, from those that will work for an absolute novice and that include their own media library, to tools that are more sophisticated and allow you to combine your own media components with transitions, callouts, animations, zoom and pan, and more. The tool that you choose is entirely dependent on what works best for your needs and the needs of the digital story that you wish to convey. Step 5. Share. This is the easiest and probably the most satisfying part of the whole process. Once the project is complete, you can share your digital story with a limited audience or with the world. In the follow-up to this video, I'll share the specifics of how I create my Econ instructional videos.